I, who had never had an orgasm before, climaxed several times in a row. In our late-night girls chat group, one girl excitedly shared her amazing experience with us. It all started because her feet were cold, so she kept her socks on while having sex with her husband, and to her surprise, that time felt better than ever before. After that, she insisted on wearing socks every time they had sex. She joked that she was turning her husband into a foot fetishist. Surprised and delighted, she was also curious. Why was there such a big difference between having sex with socks on and without? So just by wearing socks, you can reach orgasm. The truth is, you might find it hard to believe. A single pair of socks can actually make you climax. Isn't that just nonsense? But actually, there's scientific research to back this up. It's not just some story I made up out of thin air. A study from a university in Henan found that keeping your feet warm can increase a woman's chances of reaching orgasm by 30%. A certain professor conducted a controlled experiment, inviting 13 heterosexual couples aged between 19 and 49 to participate in a study on the differences in orgasm between men and women. In the first round of the experiment, only 50% of the couples reached orgasm. Since it was the middle of winter, the professor thought that the participants might have been too cold, which affected their sexual experience, so he thoughtfully handed out socks to everyone. Then something amazing happened. After putting on the socks, 80% of the participants successfully reached orgasm, especially the women. The reason why wearing socks can stimulate women's sexual desire is that when their feet are warm, women feel comfortable and safe, which suppresses anxiety and fear generated by the brain. In addition, keeping the feet warm can also improve blood circulation in the body, making it easier to reach orgasm. The second point is that wearing socks makes men more aroused. Apart from the warmth and sense of security that socks provide for women, there is another theory. Men tend to prefer women who wear socks, which makes them put more effort into pleasing women during sex. Being half revealed is more alluring than being completely naked. This is due to the voyeuristic psychology rooted in human shame. Why are men so irresistibly aroused by the glimpses beneath low-cut tops and skirts? Because it's exposed but not completely exposed. This kind of tantalizing, half-hidden allure makes people even more eager to find out what's underneath. Freud mentioned in psychoanalysis that the genitals are not the only source of sexual satisfaction. Other parts of the body, even the skin and bones, can also provide sexual pleasure. For people who walk upright, the main moving parts of the body are the legs and feet. The range of movement of the feet is greater than that of other parts, which better showcases an individual's vitality. Therefore, most people tend to have more sexual fantasies about feet. Thirdly, the choice of socks is quite particular. Overly smooth ones won't do. It's not recommended to wear silk, especially silk over-the-knee socks. The material is too slippery, and if the socks are too high, they tend to slip down during sex, so you end up having to take them off, which actually kills the mood. Of course, there is a solution: thin garter straps. Wearing something too skimpy won't work either. Many women wear lace bed socks with low-cut shoes in the summer. They're breathable and comfortable. But it's not recommended to wear them during sex because they're not warm enough, don't provide enough coverage, and most importantly, they just don't look good. The best choice is something that keeps you warm and offers more coverage. You can wear cotton socks that go over the ankle, regular calf socks, or coral fleece sleep socks. Sleep socks are the most recommended. They'll keep your feet warm all night long. Besides being sexy, keeping your legs and feet warm in winter is also good for women's health. Fourth point, men also like to wear women's pantyhose. Speaking of keeping warm, I've noticed that a lot of guys actually do a better job than girls. A real-life example happened right around me. Ever since my best friend started living with her boyfriend, she kept noticing that her pantyhose, the black tight-fitting kind with fleece lining, would mysteriously disappear, only to suddenly reappear when doing laundry, and they were clearly stretched out. One time, my best friend was taking a long shower and noticed her boyfriend lingering in the bathroom for ages. She had already been suspicious, so she barged in. Sure enough, her boyfriend looked completely panicked, with a pair of her leggings still hanging around his thighs. He said, "Honey, let me explain, I'm not into cross-dressing." After her boyfriend confessed, he admitted that he only secretly wore her tights to keep warm, not because he was into cross-dressing or anything like that. The reason was that he had seen a post like this on a forum, and after trying it once, he was hooked because it was just so warm. The downside, though, is that there's no pouch for men, which is a bit inconvenient. Honestly, guys will go to great lengths just to stay warm. But really, there's no need to secretly buy them. We girls are actually very understanding, you know. Every time my boyfriend and I make love, he asks me to wear stockings. Whenever I put them on, his eyes light up, he can't keep his hands off me, and even our intimacy gets more intense. Do stockings really make you stronger? Will it really make you stronger? There isn't a definitive conclusion yet, but stockings definitely do spice things up. First, it's true that stockings can add excitement. If you don't believe it, just try it tonight. Wearing stockings can absolutely drive your boyfriend wild. That's because, compared to being completely naked, the partial coverage of stockings, the sense of being half revealed, half concealed, is even more alluring to men. This is the result of the human tendency toward voyeurism and the thrill of shame. Partial concealment actually stimulates a man's voyeuristic desires, which in turn creates an inexplicable sense of excitement. Moreover, the feet and the sexual nerves, yes, the sexual nerves, are closely connected, as are the sensitive nerves. According to American neurologist Ramachandran, in the cerebral cortex, the sensory areas for the genitals and the feet are located very close to each other. This makes it possible for people to subconsciously associate sex with feet. And appropriate rubbing or stimulation of the feet can cause women to feel pleasure and excitement. Finally, in ancient times, feet were regarded as the third major sexual symbol after the genitals and breasts. For a woman to expose her feet was equivalent to baring her chest or breasts. And according to the famous modern psychologist Freud, women's feet have always been kept hidden, and men can experience the thrill of uncovering a woman's secrets psychologically by peeking at their feet. Guys might find this pretty ridiculous. Are you saying all my efforts can't compare to a pair of stockings? Don't worry, I'm not just making this up. There's actually data to back it up. This is because wearing socks can dilate the blood vessels in the feet and promote blood circulation. So during sex, it can make you feel more aroused and naturally increase the chances of reaching orgasm. Besides spicing things up during sex, wearing socks to bed can also help you sleep better and more soundly. Socks can aid sleep, especially for girls who tend to have cold feet. Putting on socks can help you fall asleep faster. When the body is asleep, its core temperature drops by about 1.2 degrees Celsius. In winter for girls, the only warm part under the covers is the head, while the limbs are all cold. At this time, the brain activates a protective mechanism. To prevent you from freezing, it restricts blood flow to the surface of the skin in order to maintain the body's core temperature. But if you wear socks while sleeping, it keeps your feet warm. This sensation of warmth is transmitted to your cerebral cortex, making you feel sleepy quickly and helping you fall asleep. A study published in the Journal of Physiological Anthropology pointed out that wearing socks while sleeping can effectively improve sleep quality, increasing sleep efficiency by 7.6% and adding an average of 32 minutes to total sleep time. Of course, everything mentioned above applies to wearing socks to bed when the weather is cold. As for summer, there's really no need. Wearing socks not only doesn't help you sleep, but will also make your feet sweat, and the smell might even drive your boyfriend away. So how can you use stockings to spice things up? Many girls have asked me, they've never tried stockings, not in daily life, and certainly not during sex. In that case, I suggest you give stockings a try. Stockings can not only be used to spice things up, but if styled well, they can also be a highlight of your outfit. However, some girls just naturally dislike stockings and are psychologically resistant to them. In that case, you shouldn't force it. So, which type of stockings can arouse a man's desire? First of all, of course, is black stockings. 9 out of 10 people love them. You could say that no adult man can resist the allure of black stockings. Black stockings also come in many varieties: short, long, with exposed hips, without exposed hips, tearable, and non-tearable. Which one you choose really depends on personal preference. If you have the opportunity, it's not a bad idea to try out every type. White stockings. The color white itself gives off a pure and ethereal vibe, so they're also easy to pull off in everyday life. A school uniform paired with white stockings is honestly the perfect combination, isn't it? Who wouldn't look at that and say, wow? Wearing them like this also gives your boyfriend that innocent yet seductive vibe. It's really attractive. Actually, there are many types of stockings like garter letter stockings, pantyhose, fishnet stockings, and so on. Which one you choose really depends on your personal taste. Just a quick reminder, stockings are meant to spice things up. If you want to wear socks to help you sleep, then don't choose stockings. Go for breathable, loose, and sweat-absorbing socks instead. Alright, that's all about the allure of stockings for now. If there's anything else you want to know, feel free to DM me. That's it for today. See you next time.